Hello, everyone, and welcome to Thursday. Today has been a very strange day. It has also been a bad day. But for as bad of a day that I have had, my mom has had a day that is 100 times worse. Let's back up. Let's start with breakfast stream. Woke up this morning, did breakfast stream, went well, fairly normal. There's the chat topics are always just stuff that either Mao and I bring or chat themselves, brings up. And one of the things that we got on the topic of today was extended family trees, aunts and uncles. We were talking a little bit about Mao's big family because she has 20 aunts and uncles between her mom and dad's side. And I have 2. Just 2. My dad has a younger brother, and my mom has a younger brother. And that's it. And I very, very rarely talk about my extended family. And it's not that I dislike them, it's just that I really don't know them all that well. I, over the course of my childhood, spent a little time with them, but my parents are from Maryland and West Virginia, and that's where my extended family is. But I grew up in South Carolina, so occasionally we would go up, for Christmas or certain holidays, and occasionally maybe they would come down and visit in South Carolina, but by and large, I didn't spend a whole lot of time with them. And in my adult life, in the last 10 plus years, I have spent basically no time with any of my extended family, so I really just don't know them that well. And that's one of the reasons why I haven't talked about them much in the history of the vlog, is because there's not a whole lot to say. It's not that I don't like them, I really don't know them. But this morning we did talk a little bit about it, and I talked a little bit about my uncles, my cousins. And then after breakfast stream ended, I looked at my phone, and I had a message from just a few minutes before from my mom. And it said, "My brother passed away." And my very first thought was absolute heartache for my mom, because my mom absolutely loved her brother so much. And communicated with him a lot. I mean, just multiple times a week. She was calling him or he was calling her. But it was strange. It was strange because I very rarely talk about family, very rarely talk about extended family. And we come to find out that he most likely passed away while we were having those discussions on the stream. We're not entirely sure, but we believe he probably passed away from a heart attack. He lives with a roommate, and the roommate said that he had been on the bed and got up out of the bed, and when he got up out of the bed, he fell just face first. And his roommate tried to resuscitate him, and then the paramedics came and they tried to resuscitate him and they couldn't. And he's always felt a little invincible to me, to be honest, because there's been a lot of medical issues over the years. He's actually had multiple heart attacks and multiple strokes. And there's also just been a plethora of other just kind of dangerous situations that he's been put in. And he has continued to keep on keeping on. And it's actually been at some points very wild to me and to my mom that, he got out of that situation. Like, he is still going. But unfortunately today, around 11 a.m., he passed away. And this has been very, very difficult for my mom. And I want to clarify right here that, for better or worse, because I am not super, super close to my extended family, I am okay. I'm all right. Obviously, he is family, and I love him and care for him. And I do have memories of him, mostly from childhood. And I'm sad about it, but I'll never be sad about it in the way that my mom has been sad about it today. And on that note, if you want to send condolences, that's fine. Just please direct them towards my mom. You can say whatever you'd like in the comments. I'll make sure my mom reads it. But I'm okay. It's my mom who has had a really, really freaking awful day. One of the reasons that her day has been so bad is that, I've talked to her on the phone several times today, throughout the day, and she said, "Stephen, I'm alone now." And what she means by that is that her immediate family was her mom and her dad and her brother, and now everyone is gone. It's her. Her mom passed away a long time ago. I was young. I was 3. It was 1992. Her dad passed away in 2009, and then, of course, today, her brother. And I know that she feels so bad because the last time that she saw her brother was the same time that I saw her brother, and that was at her dad's funeral in 2009. And despite the fact that my mom has talked to my uncle over the years and been genuinely a good sister, such a good sister to him. I know that she lamented the fact that she hadn't seen him in 11 years. Truthfully, she laments the fact that she hasn't seen any of her extended family or friends in 11 years. She's told me many times over the last few years how badly she wants to go home, get back to Maryland and West Virginia and see all those people. And it's unfortunate because every time this comes up, it always feels like there's something that gets in the way. Something comes up, something stops the trip from happening. There's always something that occurs, some reason that the trip can't occur, or, there's always something. And I hate that. And I know that she has hated that and then hates it even more as of today. And I feel terrible, because even though I wasn't close with my uncle, I'm very close with my mom. And I love my mom very much. And to see her hurt, to see her or my dad in any sort of pain is terrible for me. So I've tried to do my best to help out today to the best of my abilities. One of the things that happens when someone passes away is that things have to start occurring. Phone calls have to be made, not only to tell family and friends, etc., but to start the process of communicating with the funeral home and doing all of these things. And to be honest, it's such a weird process because the person who is grieving is not really in a mental place to be able to do that. They need someone else to take the reins and do those sorts of things. And today I was that person. So I had been talking to her and I got the number for the funeral home. And even though it was in Maryland and I'm in South Carolina, I still made those calls. So I made the calls. I got things, I got a lot of information about what we needed to do and things like that. And also did some emailing back and forth to figure out specifics about how this was all going to go down. Started working on an obituary too. So I think I just about have that done, but it's been mostly what I've spent my day doing is just working on all this stuff. And I'm not sure how the funeral arrangements are even going to go because we live in the time of COVID and it's different. Right now, I don't think they even know. My mom is going to have to make those decisions along with the other survivors of his family, which is his 2 daughters, my cousins, who also have to be in shock and have to be grieving because they've lost their father today. But between the 3 of them, the 2 daughters and my mom, they're going to have to make decisions about specifics and what needs to happen next. And I'm not sure exactly how that's going to go. There's a chance that maybe things could be just completely postponed until a later date, or if there is some sort of, in-person gathering, it would probably be very, very, very small, just super immediate family. But it's been a rough day. it's been a rough day, and I feel so bad for my mom. I really do. And, even though I hadn't seen or spoken to my uncle in 11 years, I still knew him, And my mom told stories, about him over the years. And also she, I said that she talked to him multiple times a week, and that's true. And she would tell me about, things that he was up to or things that he was doing. And I felt like in some respects I maybe knew him just a little bit better than I actually did, getting secondhand information. His name was Jim, by the way. James, I guess, but he went by Jim. He was named after my grandfather, who shares the same name. One of the reasons this is so strange for me is that because I never talk about my extended family, because I've really never talked about my uncles, and because the last time I saw him and we spoke was in May 2009, and the vlog didn't even get started until November of that year, means that there is no context for you as the audience. There is no old clip I can pull up. He has never been seen on the vlog. Probably, maybe even rarely, if ever, been truly talked about. And that makes it a very strange situation. Because there's been times where, people have been featured on, the vlog at least maybe like once or twice. And if something happens, I can at least pull up a clip and say, this person was shown here, or we talked about this person here. Sometimes when pets have died over the years, I remember Trisket. When Trisket died, Trisket hadn't been featured in many vlogs, but was in some vlogs, and we could show that. And there is no context for this. The relation that you have to the situation is simply the fact that it is loss. It is just pure, unadulterated loss. But it's a weird situation for me. For the decision to include it in the vlog, but also the necessity to do so because this is a journal of my life, and it would feel wrong to not talk about this today. This is what enveloped my entire day, and this is so important to my mom. And so I make this video talking about a person that I've very rarely mentioned in the past, and I've never shown. But I'm showing him today because I have some photos. Maybe from a long time ago, sure. But I have some photos, and I thought it was important that he was seen. I feel terrible for my mom. I feel terrible for my cousins. And I'm going to do everything I can to help with the situation as a whole. And help if things go as smoothly as possible in any way that I can. But losing someone, no matter what, is hard. And I'll never truly understand what it's like to lose a sibling, since I don't have any. But I love my mom, and I can't stand to see her hurt. And I know that today was the hardest day she's had in a long time. And God knows that in the last few months, she has had some hard days. She's had some very hard days. I'm going to end it there. And I'm well aware of the fact that this is a weird one, and it is. But it's necessary. I loved my uncle as he was family. And like I said, most of my memories are from childhood, and they're all very fuzzy. But I still remember him. I'm so happy that my mom has kept a good relationship with him for so long. And, even up to his passing, remained such a good friend and sister to him. Like that's important to me, and I know that that's increasingly going to be important to her now that he's gone, because she'll have those good memories of all the conversations that they shared. Losing someone is tough, and it can often be a bit unexpected. If you have someone today that you need to reach out to, then I would urge you to do so. You never truly know how long you have left. With that, I'm going to end it here. I really want to reiterate that I personally am okay. I'm all right. And I'm going to continue in the background to do everything I can for my parents, everything I can for my mom to try and help with this situation. Just try to be a good son. I probably will not continue to talk about this too much on the vlog. I wanted to share this. Today was important. And maybe at some point in the future I will delve a little bit more into my extended family, and maybe I'll talk a little bit more about them and their lives and things like that. But that'll be for another day. Tomorrow, we'll kind of get back to normal, and you'll just kind of know that in the background I'm doing everything I can. I'm on the phone with them. I'm taking care of stuff in any way that I can help out. Thanks for watching. And as always, let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?